Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here. We have a late breaking story, a Memorial Day weekend massacre, a he said, she said, back again to he said. Kelley Flanagan responding to Peter Weber's Bachelor's in the City rant podcast where he defended his actions after breaking up with Kelley, of course. She was on Chicks in the Office podcast earlier this week. Then, rightfully so, he aired out his side of the story, and we are in a full-blown he said, she said. Now we have Kelley with an 8-minute video. I have not watched this. Let's check in on this. This is the verified, by the way, she's verified with 1,000 subscribers. I've got 32,000. Can I get verified, or do I need to go on a show and bump Harrison's in a windmill? How does that work out? All right, let's see what Kelley has to say. You know she means business because she's got the glasses on. Let's hear her out. We'll pause where need be. This is Kelley sharing her side of the he said, she said. Again, 5+ months after them breaking up.
All right, guys. I'm going to acknowledge some things.
Please do.
Usually I let it slide, but when there are things out there that are misconstrued, I am always going to stick up for myself, as I think everyone else should. And this is kind of in reference as to what is being said about me, that I'm calculated, that I want to hit headlines, that I'm disingenuous and things like that, reaching out to my friends. Just gonna clear some things up.
Ooh, boy. Number one.
This is kind of what happened with where my intent is, because someone is giving their opinion as to why I did it with
Peter Weber.
No facts behind it.
No facts.
Which I think is a little bit crazy. But anyways,
a little bit crazy.
I will reiterate this so many times. The relationship ended very badly, and there was a good reason as to that after Valentine's Day in February. And that is why I said on Chicks in the Office that, I told him to get out of my life, lose my number, which I think is fair because I was drawing a healthy boundary that I needed. My intent behind it, I saw Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, Article 4, and I told my manager, I said, hey, look, tell him to stop because I'm not going to go with a narrative that someone's creating for me. So I decided to do Caitlin Bristowe's podcast. Then I see Article 5, Article 6, Article 7, Article 8, just creating the storyline that we're going to be friends in New York and all this stuff. And I finally, again, told my manager, I'm giving you a fair warning, tell him to stop or I will speak, what I believe, because I will never let anyone create a narrative for me. So finally, I just, the bear was poked. There was a lot of things even going on, being disrespected, going and hanging out with my family, friends, posting it everywhere, that I was just like, I don't understand. When you end badly with someone, you would think that they would just try to respect you a little bit and just, go their way instead of reaching out to my friends, which it wasn't my friend that he reached out to see how I was doing. It was my astrologer to get his birth chart read. And he asked her for advice in terms of how do I get in contact with her, because I know she is not my biggest fan for good reasons. Understood my anger behind it. And her advice to him was, hey, I don't think she's your biggest fan, and I think it's going to have to take a big gesture. Nothing about that was publicly. Those were her words, not mine. And she was just giving him advice to say, hey, look, it's actually really bad, and I think that she doesn't really want much to do with you, but if you were to ever try, I think it's going to have to be something big. Again, not my words. That's my astrologer that he got a birth chart read from and was asking about me during it. Then also,
That's insane.
Just him reaching out to me like 2 weeks ago. No need. I'm, again, drawing a healthy boundary for myself, as I think that I should be capable of doing, knowing What happened at the end of February, there was a lot of circumstances where I just said I should not be dealing with this, I shouldn't be dealing with this, and kind of sticking up for myself and kind of drawing a line. And it sucks because, you know, there's some exes that you could look back on and say you had a great relationship with and you still have respect for them and, you know, you wish them the best. But in my scenario, when something happens, that's extremely disrespectful, you have to know your worth and you have to sit there and say, good luck to you. I wish you the best in the future, but I just don't necessarily want you in my life. And that's okay. You know, you don't have to be on great pages with everyone. It sucks because no one likes to be out there and know that they have tension with someone, which I can't stand. But at the same time, like, I just don't want to be pulled back into that. I don't want that. So in my scenario, I think it was just best to, you know, pull the ripcord, move on, and just cut it out completely, which I think is fair. What else can I acknowledge?
Bananas.
You know, I
Wild.
really actually applaud him for being so sweet on everything that he was saying in terms of, you know, being extremely kind. I just think I would have respected him more if he didn't accuse me of trying to hit headlines that has to deal with him. Again, he had nothing behind that to say that. That's just his opinion, I guess, which is very sad because if I listened to that podcast and heard all the great things he said about me, I'd be like, wow, he's being really mature in this situation and I really respect him. But it saddens me to know that that's not how he could act even after how things ended.
Tell us, how did they end?
So makes me sad. Makes me sad that it's the scenario, but it also gives me reassurance that this is how I need to draw a healthy boundary because I don't want to be associated with that. Furthermore, I'm doing well. You know, I have a great group of friends. I have great family that I could go to for advice or anything I need. I'm doing well. I don't think that you need to check on me. I don't think you need to figure out what I'm doing. I'm doing fine. So hopefully from here, all of this could just be done. But again, I'm never gonna let anyone speak a narrative for me and kind of like put out their storyline. And if they don't,
gonna give you up.
And like just have me play along with it. You know, I think that some of my answers were not liked because it didn't play along with the storyline that was being portrayed, but it's my life too, and I think that
Need a beer for this.
I'm never gonna let anyone create my narrative. So stuck up for myself, drawing a healthy boundary. I'm not gonna play along. And you know, the bear was poked. There were several warnings to be like, hey, look, this isn't how it went. This isn't how it went. I'm not gonna stick up for you, and I'm gonna share what I have to share. That is about it. Yeah, but it sucks. Also, just to acknowledge it, you can't necessarily figure out when a podcast is going to air. There is schedules on it. You can't get on it one day and just say, oh my God, okay, like it's gonna air tomorrow. There's a schedule. For example, I did Barbara Corcoran's podcast over a month ago, and it's airing, I think, this weekend or in a couple of days. You know, she asked me, 90% of it was about business. That's fine. Of course, they're going to ask me about the show that I was on. Answered them. Have no idea what I said. But I can't retract that now. So whatever comes out, comes out. Sorry it wasn't in a timely manner of what people wanted. But that's that. You know, I can't tell Barbara Corcoran when to post the podcast or tell her what the schedule is going to be. You know, she tells me that. So I hope you guys have a great day. Just wanted to clarify some of those things and wishing all of you well.
Seeking clarity. I'll tell you what, we just got some. We've got a he said, she said, and let me tell you something. Drink every time Kelley Flanagan says she poked the bear. I mean, we're poking a lot of bears today. Wow, guys, this was Incredible. Listen,
About
the
me
truth
doing
is, we still don't know what the hell went down, but let's just recap what she said here. I thought I was done for the day. I was outside working out, doing some arms, and I had to just yell for Tasha to grab me a cold Golden Road Mango Cart beer, a nice mango wheat ale for a Memorial Day weekend, because if we're going to party, we're going to do it while we discuss this. The big gesture. I feel like these terms are becoming like synonymous with my my lexicon, if you will. Because Peter had said that Kelley Flanagan's friend told him, and again, her side, his side, I ain't picking a side. It's interesting. This is like when you're on the bus heading somewhere and there's a fight happening and you're like, listen, I'm not going to have any drinks thrown at me, am I? But I'm going to watch this bus. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. Holy cow. So Peter has said that one of Kelley Flanagan's friends said she's going to need a big gesture to win her back. Now, I firmly believe this to be a miscommunication. And I bet you in hindsight, they would have loved if they could have just hashed this out on a podcast together, because he would have been like, what about that friend of yours that wanted me to do a big grand gesture? And she'd be like, I'm sorry, I did not tell her to say that. She's my astrologer and all that jazz. So very fascinating. I love how 2021, I love how new age this is. So I'm getting my birth chart read. Holy cow. All right. Bingo if you had bear was poked and birth chart was being read. So she said he was a little bit crazy. Relationship ended badly, and she also said she told him to get out of my life and lose my number. Which, by the way, lose my number, as funny as that is, has anyone ever said that since the 1950s? Hey, pal, lose my number, kid. You know what I mean? You're no longer the cat's meow here, son. Is lose my number, I mean, delete my number? I don't know, lose my number. I feel like that's old school when you had to write a number down. It's like, you know what, you know what? Lose it. You got to go. Lose that number. I don't want to see it anymore. It's like, lose it. I'm not going to delete it. It's stored in the cloud. How am I going to lose a number if it's stored in the cloud? Hey, shout out to Sarah Lynn, just pledged $8 on the Patreon. If anyone wants to check out the Patreon, I got a 90-minute live stream I made today. I thought that was my last video of the day. I've got my cold brew coffee. I got a nice golden ale mango thing here. And boy, she says, pull the ripcord. Cut it out completely. The tumor known as the relationship between Kelley Flanagan and Peter Weber has been cut out completely, she says. I just ripped off part of my notes. That was a bad idea. Lose my notes. Can you pick up my notes right there? She said the astrologer wanted a big gesture, not her words. She's drawing a healthy boundary. And by the way, I mean, it's hard to do no contact when you're both having he said, she said. Now, Kelley mentioned she did a podcast a month ago, and she's already starting to apologize for what she said. If I were the person who hosted the podcast that's coming out, I would get that podcast out very soon, because those numbers are going to be big. I don't even know what podcast it is or what it's about, but Kelley says, we talked 90% finances, but I don't even know what else I said. So who knows what Kelley said about her relationship. But, as far as the timeliness of the Chicks in the Office podcast, I mean, look, here are the facts. No one spoke publicly about the breakup until Kelley Flanagan went on Chicks in the Office. Obviously, she's going to see the breakup through her own set of eyes. That's fair. That's how it works. Peter is going to see it completely differently. That's fair too. It's easier for me to necessarily take the guy's side because I am a guy and I understand. Oh, he's flying to Chicago to break up with you. Clearly he likes you and then you get back together. There's a benefit of the doubt there. It's called empathy, folks. I understand 95% of my demographics are women, and you may see it through Kelley's side, who sees Peter as some gallivanting F-boy, a flip boy, as it were. But I just don't see that. I think everyone's trying the best with the information they have. The truth is, this conversation would have been better if it was done behind curtains, but that just didn't happen. In the meantime, I'm sure Peter, listen, Peter, if I were you, I would go full in on your response. Get the downloads on your podcast. Listen, the cat's out of the bag, okay? So just monetize the hell out of it. You know what I mean? It seems like Kelley's biggest, as she said, if, she said it was nice. She said, I applaud him for being extremely kind. I would respect him more if he didn't accuse me of going after headlines. Because, of course, Peter said that what she did came off as calculated and disingenuous. Now, look, to Kelley's credit, and I could be wrong, I don't believe Kelley was trying to sell anything. You know what I mean? Whenever someone comes out with a tell-all book, you know, God knows Fauci's going to come out with a book after the CDC and he's going to talk about something. He's going to, maybe not, maybe that's a bad example, but people come out and they write their book, they pitch their podcast, they're monetizing their drama. If someone's going to if someone's going to make money off the drama, it better be me. Well, Kelley didn't do that on Chicks in the Office, as far as I know. She wasn't selling anything. It was just about her protecting what she viewed to be as her character. She clearly doesn't like the fact that he's hanging out with her family friends, that being, we'll go to it right now, the family friend being, hold on one second, I'm struggling with her name, Renata. Is that her name? Why do I know these people? I don't want to know these people. But of course, we don't know, and it wasn't addressed on Peter's, it wasn't addressed on his podcast what the connection is there. But it seems to be that Renata is friends with, this is her right here, is friends with Victoria Justice, who is Peter's family friend. So I don't know for sure. Like, if I truly do want to be the judge and jury over who wins in the divorce, who gets the friend, it's really up to her to decide, right? It's up to what's her name again, Renata Sanfilippo, to decide who she hangs out with. Of course, it's not a good look. Like, how close of a friend is Renata to Kelsey? Is that her name? I'm already losing my mind here. Kelley? That's Kelley? Wow. How close is she as of a friend of Kelley if she's going to be hanging out with Peter the whole time? You know what I mean? So anyway, let me make sure I got all this. Kelley says, know your worth. Good luck to you, but I don't want you in my life. So Kelley's setting boundaries, going no contact. And through that no contact, it seems to be the only people that are getting through to both Kelley and Peter are Kelley's astrologer and me. So let me tell you something. I'm in a weird place. Kelley's astrologer, call in and let me know what you think. Please read my birth charts. I was born at 7 a.m. in 1985. Could you tell me what I'm going to do with my life? Because hopefully, recapping this nosebleed of a breakup isn't it. I don't know, folks. All right, this relationship is as dead as the potpourri sitting in my windowsill. Like I said, that's not rose, that's potpourri, bitch. So, a little bit crazy indeed. There is some mild tea for you on a Friday. Happy Memorial Day weekend. And again, if anyone wants, speaking of monetizing their relationship, if they don't want to monetize their relationship, I'll monetize their relationship. You can go to my Patreon if you want to check it out. I've got I've got some premiere content over there. I've got a 90-minute live stream I just recorded. We talk about the upcoming season of The Bachelor, Bachelorette, excuse me. So if you want to go to the Patreon over there, I believe we just got our 65th Patreon member and a lot of other stuff going on. Sarah Lynn, thank you for your support, your patronage. Oh, it's more than 90 minutes. It's almost a 2-hour live stream there. You can go check that out if you need some content. Otherwise, stay close to the YouTube. We might have a response from Peter. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, and look, let's remember one thing, folks. We're having fun. We're dissecting relationships. We're dissecting the human condition. They're both trying the best with the information they have. Let's not forget that. Okay, folks, maybe their information's faulty. Maybe it's the first of a messy breakup and they don't know how to go the route of the breakup. Maybe they tried their best and were succumb. And maybe they tried their best and that wasn't good enough. But at least you can learn from this relationship, apply it to the next one, and hopefully do better. I'm sure they're both, in one way or another, guilty of letting the other down. I like to say there could be a love language issue where they were on different pages. But then again, you need to be on the same page as far as what you want, love language-wise. But you also have to be in the same place in your life. And maybe they're just not there. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Crazy story to end the day here. That's it for me. Unless there's any more breaking news, I'll let you guys know. Bye, everybody.